Welcome to episode 34 of the Brick Clubhouse, brought to you by Bricks and Minifigs, San Diego North, your friendly neighborhood Lego store in the Rancho Penasquitos neighborhood of San Diego. Stop by and pick up minifigs, used sets, bulk, and collection of new and retired sets. We've got everything Lego waiting for you. My name is Chris, and I'm joined by my co-host, Evan. Hello, Evan.
Hi, Chris. How are you doing today?
Just fine. It's nice to be talking some Lego tonight.
Yeah, always a good time.
Before we jump into tonight's topics, we have a few items of follow-up that I thought we could get to. One, I would like to shout out to our friends at the Fashion Valley Lego store here in San Diego. Had a great discussion with the employees there about the podcast and specifically our CMF episode. So thanks for listening. It's always fun to talk to people out in the real world.
I kind of forget that people listen to this. Like, we just kind of show up at my condo and talk Lego for like an hour, and then you are the one that posts it and like does all the editing, and I kind of just forget that it happens. And then you were like, "Yeah, they listen to it," and I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay,
I know.
Cool."
It's always fun. It's great to talk to people that listen, and
yeah,
I know from looking at the numbers that's always growing.
You said they listened to the CMF episode.
Yes.
Are they also fans of printed shields and bows?
Who isn't a fan of printed shields and bows? Actually, we were discussing earlier, we kind of forgot one of your favorite minifigures.
Yeah, I mean, because I was trying to stick to like the non-licensed ones for the most part.
I was breaking the rules.
No, it's fine. We did honorable mentions and we did licensed ones. But yeah, you're right. The Moon Knight figure from Marvel Series 2 is one of my favorites. The printing detail on that one, and it's just so good. And I've told you this, but in the actual Moon Knight show, I think Moon Knight's costume is one of like my all-time favorite superhero costumes like ever. It just looks so good.
It's does.
Beautiful.
And that figure.
And they translated it perfectly to minifigure form. So
it is a great looking figure.
So there we go. Now my list is complete.
I know. One of the best Marvel figures, I think.
Oh, yeah. That one, and then Sam Wilson from the first series.
I've seen a lot of them recently because we had the Avengers Tower in and the Daily Bugle. So, like, all like the...
Some good ones.
Yeah, but Moon Knight is great.
Yeah, I think that one and then Falcon from the first series are my favorite ones from the CMFs because the printing details on both of those are just absurd.
Yeah.
Like, Sam Wilson, like, he has, like, his whole, like, wings on his back, so it covers most of his back, and there's still, like, a crazy detailed back print underneath it.
Yeah, they did.
It's wild.
Anyway, if you didn't listen to our discussion on CMFs, you can go back to episode 32 and listen to that. But had another item, a follow-up tonight, a discussion that I've had a few times in the store with people lately, and it is regarding, specifically this has come out of Winter Village discussions, about storage of sets once they're built. Now, do you have a lot of sets that you have that are built that you have stored?
Yes.
And how did you...
You know where they are.
I didn't know how many were built and how many weren't. But, yeah, I do know where your stash of black tubs are.
Yeah.
So, when you packed your sets, did you break them down, or did you just put them away built? Because this was the discussion we were having in the set.
So the way I've done it is, and obviously not every set can fit into this category, but usually what I do is I get like 2-gallon Ziploc bags, like 1 to 2 gallon Ziploc bags, and I put each set like in its own Ziploc bag. I like to get the sliders because I feel like I found those seal better. I trust them better.
That's what we use in the store.
Yeah, so I get like the sliders, not like the ones you push together, and then I just put them and I got those black and yellow Costco bins, and I just lay them in there on top of each other, and usually they stay pretty intact. Like, I've moved my whole helmet collection like twice now, and like, yeah, a couple bits and pieces come off here and there, but like I can put them back together without even looking at the instructions.
And at least they're all contained in the bag.
That's why I put them in the bags, so that if they do break apart, all the pieces are there, and I can just rebuild them however much I need to. Some of the ones I'm looking over at my cabinet right now, like the Up House and the mini Disney World castle, a few pieces fell off, but like my T2 camper van, that one stayed pretty much intact. So that's how I usually do it. And then, as you know, when we transported, so I guess this is storage, but we transported my UCS sets, and those I just kept on the stands.
Yeah.
And because those are pretty solid when they're on their stands.
Yeah, we were in the store. We were specifically talking about like Winter Village.
Yeah,
and
so I would just put them in like a 2-gallon Ziploc.
And
I would do.
and the people I was talking to were surprised to find out that I literally just put them in tubs. Like I don't break them down. I put them like kind of puzzle piece them together in tubs, and
because be careful when you lift
because
boxes.
they're all they can all kind of line up.
Yeah,
and then I put all the minifigures in a smaller tub, like kind of a shoebox size, has all my minifigures and animals and things.
Yeah,
and then I have 3 tubs now full of Winter Village sets.
Yeah, because I guess if you're standing them up, they're probably not going to maximize your space. Like if you were to lay them down top, like in the bags, like I would.
Right.
But you don't need to. Like if
no,
you have the room for it, that's fine.
And then I've put like smaller things on top of it.
Right.
That may be in bags because I do bag up some of like my Christmas brickheads and nutcrackers and snow globes and all of those.
Yeah, I mean
Lego built things.
As long as you like are careful handling the box when you put it up and take it down, like they're not going to move.
And I guess that's where I'm lucky to have storage to put tubs like that. One of our customers was telling me he did that and put them in the garage, and then his daughter knocked the tubs over getting her bike out.
Yeah, see that's
and
you
so
can't do that, yeah.
No, because he was saying that they break them down every year and then rebuild them.
That's so time consuming.
That's what I was thinking.
It's also already time consuming enough for you.
There's no way I would have a Winter Village display every year if I had to break the sets down and rebuild them.
No, I want to take them all the way apart.
So
try to find a way to keep them intact. My wife actually, she suggested this when we were moving. When I was moving from my old apartment and I was moving into where we live together now, that she had seen people online for like big like UCS sets. They get like saran wrap, like spools, and just saran wrap them together. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. It's a huge waste of plastic, but if you're cool with that. But like I said, for my UCS sets, like, and I've seen people do this before, like for their big ones, like wrap them in blankets and just put them in the trunk of the car. It's sketchier, but like, and for the UCS they have stands. So.
And I think for moving, I think this is more like we're putting it away for 9 months and then we're going to get it out again.
Because you don't need to be that secure if you're just because if you're storing it,
I
was using that as an example. You're right, but I was using that as an example, like as another way you could store it.
Yeah,
like if you wanted to, like instead of taking them all apart, like if you wanted it to be secure, just wrap it in.
And that could be a good idea. And every year I do have pieces that have come off, and
you got to find where they go.
They may never get right.
That's
back
actually
to the exact.
Well, yeah, like all those like white pieces for the snow. It's like, well, this could go on any.
Yeah, or like I mean, as we discussed before, there are a lot of benches and a lot of light posts.
It's true. That's
true. Sometimes the right light post may not end up with the right bench again.
Yeah,
but
yeah, anyways.
It's okay. Anyway, if you have some interesting storage ideas, go ahead and leave a comment wherever you get the show or on the show notes page at brickclubhouse.com. We would love to hear from you how you store your sets, but evidently I'm pretty lax, I guess, about my poor Winter Village.
I feel like, like you said, too, like part of it is just like having the space to keep them built. Some people might not have that space.
No. It's a tough one, and every year it gets bigger. And now that I'm up to 3 tubs, I may have to start evaluating it when it gets up to 4.
See, my bigger issue right now isn't storing my built sets; it's storing the sealed ones. You've given me the backlog disease,
I know.
The backlog curse.
It's bad. I need to figure out how to better store my backlog. That'll have to be another discussion.
I mean, that's just like, all you say is just use your Tetris skills. That's kind of all you can do.
Yeah, and I'm good at Tetris, but there's only so much room in the closet.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we do have a topic for tonight's episode.
Yeah.
And that is kind of our wish list for 2025.
Yeah, we did a little bit of predictions, I think, in one of our first episodes of the year about what we think we're going to see this year. But yeah, this one I thought it would be kind of fun if we talk about what we would hope to see this year, even if it might be a little out there or unrealistic or not.
I'm sure some of the things that I was thinking of are not going to happen.
Yeah.
And some overlap with our previous conversation.
Yeah.
And some I just have a really open-ended.
Yeah. Some of mine are like pretty like, that seems like it's going to happen. And then some of them are like, ooh, that'd be really cool. And then I have one that's like, Maybe not.
Because it's weird in like this age of like rumors and like I kind of feel like if you go on,
We know a good chunk. Well,
yeah,
it's
if
supposed
you
to
go
come out.
online, like you could figure out
Yeah.
quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I love that there's always still surprises.
Well, and like there have been times, even recently, where a leak will come out or a rumor will come out, and when we actually get the reveal, it's slightly different than we thought. There's also times when something gets released and nobody had any idea it was coming, like the MIDI-scale Executor Super Star Destroyer. Like nobody leaked that, and then it just got revealed one day.
Oh yeah, well even just
The Vincent Van Gogh Sunflowers
yeah,
just got revealed.
Yeah, I had no idea that was coming.
No.
and now it's announced, and
it looks great.
And maybe if there was rumors about it, but I didn't see it.
I didn't either.
We're getting a built racing figure.
Yeah, the upscale
Octane
Racer.
Yeah,
Octane Racer.
which
is so cool.
It's super cool, and it's like supposed to come out like next month.
Yeah, it's so funny. I don't know what they're like. Sometimes they reveal something, and then it comes out 2 weeks later. And then sometimes they'll reveal like an Animal Crossing wave in like October, and it will come out in January.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what's the consistency?
It's
here?
Lego. You never know.
Or like they confirmed Bluey sets like a couple weeks ago, but like those are coming out months from now, and they haven't even revealed what they look like yet.
No,
so.
all we know is that they're going to be Duplo ones and
4+.
system ones. Yeah,
yeah. Hopefully, please let the 4+ ones have minifigures in them.
I'm sure that'll be a discussion we have later.
Oh, yes,
actually, and we may even have a bit of that tonight.
You listeners out there might be surprised how much this 25-year-old wants Bluey minifigures.
I bet there are a lot of 25-year-olds that want the Bluey minifigures, maybe more than the 4-year-olds.
Well, I guess let's go ahead and just
go ahead.
Jump
Throw
in.
out one of your wishes.
I kind of already mentioned this
2025.
one. This is I'm going to give 2 right now because one of them is very quick, and this is my one that I feel like is more of like a. This would actually, I guess, fall more in the line of prediction, and I think I did mention it in my predictions, but it's also on my wish list, so I'll say it anyways. But another late summer wave of Animal Crossing sets. I really want. I don't want this theme to end ever until I have every minifigure of all my villagers, and there's over 400 of them, so. The chances of me getting all of them are low. But
can I add a little caveat to your, not a caveat, but my own little wish in this?
Like what set you would want in Animal Crossing?
Not just that, but I love the Animal Crossing waves we've gotten. And in fact, I've got notice we're finally getting the last 2 shipped to the store, so I'll have them in a day or 2.
You want an 18+ Animal Crossing set?
I want an 18+ Animal Crossing set.
I really want an 18+ Nook's Cranny. And I want them to make an 18+ Nook's Cranny with Timmy and Tommy figures because
that would be.
They didn't put them in the other Nook's Cranny.
See, I think I would rather have the museum.
That would work for me too.
Although we've already got the Natural History Museum, and I kind of feel like it would.
It wouldn't be that big.
No, but it would have some. But if it's 18+.
But they're not going to do a 4,000-piece Animal Crossing set, which that is how much the History Museum is. Yeah, I mean.
Give me $100 Animal Crossing set, or at least $150.
I'd say $150 because $70 was the
yeah. I guess we're already getting almost $100.
Anyways, I agree with you. I'd like a big 18+ one, and we talked about this before, or a CMF line.
Yeah, that would be the other thing.
We're too. But anyways, Animal Crossing Wave. I think that's going to happen. Like all signs point to that happening. So that's not really like a wishful thinking. It's more of like a check that one off. I'm expecting to check that one off.
I think it's been doing well enough. I think we'll keep seeing them.
Okay, and then I will do another one, maybe a little bit more depth, but I want there to be at least 1 or 2 sets for the new Superman movie that's coming out in June?
July.
It is July.
Because it's right before Comic-Con.
July 11th. Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm a huge DC fan. Batman's my favorite, but watching this trailer, I do love James Gunn, and watching that trailer gave me so much hope for the future of this reboot and rebuild of this franchise, and there's so much potential there. And I realized, I was like, hey, I wasn't collecting Lego when the old Batman movies were coming out, and they made sets for them with minifigures of Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot and Ben Affleck's characters and all that. And I'm like, ooh, now I am collecting Lego, though. So if they make minifigures of all of these versions of these characters, I want them. And I want sets of different things. So I haven't heard any rumors or seen anything talked about or whatever, so I have no idea if it's coming. But I really hope they make a set or 2.
I wouldn't be surprised if maybe it's post.
Yeah.
Like later in the fall or maybe even next spring.
Because, I mean, like, Lego DC has pretty much just been Lego Batman for, like, years now.
Well, like, we had a Superman mech that came out recently.
That does
but
not count.
No. But it was the first Superman minifigure in like 7 years.
That long?
Yeah, it had been a long time.
Yeah, so like that's what I'm like. It's. I mean, as I just said, I'm a huge Batman fan. So like, I love that we get so many Batman sets. But like, DC has so many things. But I wonder if like there hasn't been enough relevant enough media for them to make sets based off of. But now with these new movies and stuff coming out, I really hope they capitalize.
Well, so many of the things that have been coming out would probably fall more into the 18+ category.
Yeah.
And so of DC in
like
general, like the last few years. Yeah. Although a set of minifigures from Creature Commandos would be pretty cool.
I want a Dr. Phosphorus figure.
But I hope we get Superman because like we've talked about, Superman was my superhero growing up. Mm-hmm. And so to not really have any great sets for Superman, I mean, I love a good Batman tumbler.
Sure.
But, you know.
Now they've overdone it. I love that Batmobile, but I'm like, dude, really? Like,
well,
another tumbler?
Yeah, exactly. But what else? Yeah, but what else are you going to do? Because you did the animated series, and you did.
I can tell you what you do. You make a brick-built Robert Pattinson Batmobile because the Technic one was such a waste.
Well, we got the big, or we got the little one.
I know, but I want a big one.
I know. But anyway.
Stop making tumblers.
But, stop. For the love of God, no more tumblers.
I love the Dark Knight trilogy as much as anyone.
But they keep going to that well. So
I know.
Let's dig a new well. No, those are great.
Superman's my first real
Superman, one. I would love that.
Can you imagine a little molded crypto?
We've got to. It's got to be. I mean, there was one.
I know, but I'm talking about from this.
But from this universe. Yeah, because I don't have the one from.
And start now so that I can get all of them as they come out. Don't just like release them all later.
So mine, my first one, we've kind of touched on it a little bit. We definitely discussed it before, but I want to see, my wish list would include more minifigures instead of mini dolls.
Do you have like a specific theme or?
For like, we just had like the Wicked sets come out.
Yeah.
And I would have loved to get those.
They've confirmed they're making more Wicked sets.
There are.
So this is their chance.
Yeah. So there's
right
hope.
The wrong, but
there's hope for that.
I doubt it.
And like, I wasn't into Wednesday, but I think it would have done a lot better if it had minifigures instead of mini dolls. And so many of the Disney properties.
That's the big one I thought you were going to say. That's the main.
Yeah. I mean, I was using Wicked as kind of an example because we're getting another movie this next year.
Yep.
Or later this year.
And Wednesday season 2. I think they said they're making more Wednesday sets too.
Yeah, but I would the Disney ones for sure because I love the Disney minifigures.
Yeah.
And it's not like we're going to get another round of CMFs. I mean, probably eventually we will, but it would be such a great way.
Yeah.
Because they keep making Disney sets, so why not? And rumors are pointing that we may get some.
Well, yeah, and like I'm looking at the Walt Disney tribute camera and like that plastic film reel with all like the minifig versions of characters. A lot of them we actually have, but a lot of them we don't.
And we did get like that with the Sorcerer Mickey, the 100 celebration. It was the idea set that came with some new ones.
Yeah, that was great.
So I mean, I think it's possible.
I was disappointed that the Encanto house from last year was mini dolls.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to make all of those characters in like a CMF. Like, they might do, like, Bruno and Mirabelle.
You might get one or two.
But, like, they're not going to do all of them. Anyways, yeah, I agree
with you. That's one thing I would like to see in 2025.
Yeah, that's a good one. For me, now I know that there's rumors out there for what this year's UCS May the 4th set is going to be. But I'm going to say this anyways, because even if it's not this year, I want it to happen at some point. But I really want a UCS Arc 170.
That'd be awesome.
That's my number one UCS set that I really want. I love that ship, and the newer Playscale Arc 170 was really disappointing, and the older one that I want is just crazy expensive on the secondary market now.
Yeah.
Like, I can't justify spending that much on a Playscale set.
We have one in the store.
We do. I know. I keep seeing it. But yeah, this is the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. And that's the only movie that we see a live-action Arc 170 in. Mm-hmm. And so I thought that would be a good year for it to happen. Now, obviously, there's a rumor that there's something else that's going to come out that's not even based off of Revenge of the Sith, which is annoying. But if not this year, sometime in the future. That's just been on my Lego Star Wars wish list for a long time. I think just having that on a shelf next to an X-wing and the Y-wing and an A-wing, and just like it's another really cool fighter, and we need it in that scale, I think.
Yeah, I agree. My next pick is kind of along those lines, and more. I didn't know like exactly what I want, but I just want something to be excited about Star Wars Lego again. I feel like it's been a while.
Sail Barge didn't do it for you?
No, Sail Barge didn't. I mean, it was cool, and it had a lot of cool figures, but it wasn't something I felt like I needed to run out and get day one.
Yeah.
Like some of the other themes have become for me.
I was thinking about this the other day. Like, I haven't been in a Star Wars phase in my personal life in a while. And so, yeah, I've kind of put a lot of the sets on the back burner. But, yeah, if there was a set where I was like, absolutely, yes, I need this, like, obviously I'd buy it, even if I wasn't in a huge Star Wars phase. But, yeah, there hasn't really been, like, there's been some good sets. But to your point, nothing that's been like, oh, my gosh, yes.
And I feel like I've picked up some cool figures.
Yeah.
But I just want a set to get excited about again. Because, like, I guess I really liked and got excited about the UCS X-Wing when it came out.
Yes.
That was great. But a lot of the play scale type stuff just hasn't been that exciting. I was disappointed with the Ahsoka sets. I was
just going to say, actually, the last Star Wars Lego Star Wars set that I was like, oh, this is really cool and I'm excited for this, was actually the Battle on Peridia set. Because all those figures were exclusive.
It was great, but it wasn't what I wanted. And I wanted a Captain Enoch, and I wanted more than what they gave us.
Like, you mean build-wise or figure-wise?
Figure-wise, I guess, and build-wise. Like,
yeah. I mean, they still did give us 5 exclusive figures in a $70 set. So
yeah,
that's pretty good.
But those, like I said, the figures were great. There hasn't been a whole lot that I was like, I need to go get that day one.
Yeah.
I mean, short of if there was a really good gift with purchase. I guess the lightsaber hilt was like the last set that I was super excited to get.
Yeah.
And even that was just the gift with purchase.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know what they could do, but I'm hoping for something this year.
I also just haven't felt a pressure to get any set on day one for myself personally, just because, like, I've realized, like, there's time. Like, they're going to be there for a while.
Honestly, it's the gift of purchase that drives me.
Because honestly, I prioritize older sets actually, because those are the ones that are going to retire first.
Yeah.
So I'd rather spend my money now on those ones.
Well, and that's what it's either.
So it's got to be good.
It's either you buy it on day one.
Yeah.
Bear, for example, you buy it on day one to get the Fell Beast.
Right.
Or
you
wait 2 years. Yeah. I mean, let's face it, I have 10 years of backlog, so it's not like I'm going to build it anytime soon. Yeah. But anyway, it would just be fun. I love Star Wars.
That's another one. The Ghost. That was a really good Ahsoka set. And me and Bailey finally got the new Ghost. I gave it to her for Christmas. But that's one that I waited until I almost retired. Because, like, I wanted it.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel the need to go buy it, like, immediately.
I mean, it was one you saw. It was cool. But were you excited about it?
Oh, yeah. I was. I was excited when the rumor came out.
I guess I wasn't, because I had the original Ghost.
Yeah. I was excited when the rumor came out, and it's a great build.
It's really good. It is in a lot of ways.
The biggest excitement, though, was
I like the figures in the original one, though.
That's been my biggest hype set for what was the Venator, the UCS Venator.
But what is that now?
It's been a while.
A year and a half now?
It was August. It was like when the Sail Barge came out, but last year. So the year before that. So yeah, a couple months till a year and a half.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's to your point, it's been a while. That's kind of the point I was trying to make. Agreeing with you. Like, it's been a while since one's gotten me like hyped.
And maybe that's what, like, give me some clone era,
but dude,
original trilogy or the prequel trilogy, but UCS. I don't know.
Make the figures better.
Yeah, I would love.
Although I will say the best part of the Arc 170 set was actually the figures. They did a really good job.
No, they did.
Prints. Yeah.
Anyhow, that was my next pick.
Yeah. No, it's a good one. Sorry if I took over your pick. I know it was a conversation. I agree. We also both have. Well, I have this, and then you actually have one that can build off of this afterwards. So yeah, let's do that because it's its own thing. This is another one that's a wish list and also kind of a prediction. But Wishlist is another Lord of the Rings D2C set.
Mm-hmm.
Also, by the way, for those of you that might not know, D2C is direct to consumer. So these are the sets that are Lego exclusives. Sometimes they're like a retail exclusive. It's like Lego and Target, but usually it's like No, actually the DTCs just refer to Lego.
At least to start.
To start.
Sometimes they'll share them 6 months later with the rest of us. But.
Right. So these are like the giant like Disney castles or
Baradur,
or the UCS sets, like the big sets, or like Baradur, Rivendell, right? So another one like that. I agree with what you're going to say in just a second as well, but I do want another. I love how they're doing like one iconic location a year.
Yeah.
For those of you that are interested, I don't remember what number episode it was, but Chris and I actually did our wish list for what we want the next D2C Lord of the Rings set to be.
We'll find out and put a link.
Yeah, that was actually
notes.
pretty fun. We got into some good details there, but there is a rumor that there is going to be one this year.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I think it's safe to say.
Yeah.
I mean, the last two have done really well.
Yeah.
And have been really popular. So I'm guessing we'll get another one.
Yeah. So that's on my wish list for sure.
I agree. I do love the big Lord of the Rings sets, and I'm really looking forward to a third one in that series. But piggybacking on that, I also would love to see some smaller sets. Mm-hmm. Like give us some of the smaller scenes that we would that don't need a huge D2C.
Right. Like Balin's Tomb, the Mines of Moria, which they've done before. But.
Yeah, I mean, or like the old Weathertop set that they did. Like a new version of that would be really cool. I don't know. There's so many iconic scenes you could pick from Lord of the Rings or even Hobbit.
Well, and there's also so many scenes that they haven't done before.
Yeah.
So
and still so many great characters, and we know they always do well on those minifigures.
Yes.
And so
people love Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're going to get battle packs or anything, but how cool would that be?
But it's also interesting because not only are there sets that they haven't done before that they could do, but like look at something like Harry Potter. How many times have they remade freaking like Diagon Alley shops, and like how many times
Hagrid's Hut,
Hut, or like the Great Hall, or
I mean we even have 4 or 5 night buses.
Right, like they've remade so many things. They could also do some updated remakes of Lord of the Rings sets because it's been a while since those were on shelves, and there are updated building techniques and pieces and quality of just prints, and like they could redo some sets and make them really good.
And a lot of those early ones that they did small. I think they would do them a lot better now, like
Absolutely.
the Blackgate Fort. You know, that was such a tiny little set, but it could have been so much more.
Well, and they're worth so much on the secondary market now. Like it's so it's pricing so many people out. So like let's get some new waves. Let's get some new sets in there for other collectors.
But if you are looking for some, we do have some of the retired ones.
We do
in the shop, both used and new in box.
There's a few sealed ones.
Yeah,
and they're beautiful.
Helm's Deep. I love looking at. It's there on the shelves every day.
The Mines of Moria, the Mirkwood Elves. Bro, that's kind of a battle pack.
Kinda,
almost.
Anyhow, I agree. I'm with you on the Lord of the Rings. Yes, keep doing what you're doing, but a little more too.
Yeah. Okay. So that was yours, right? The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
a wave of like play scale sets.
Yeah, I can go again if you want. No, you have more on your list, so you go.
I should have a couple. Yeah, I want another Legend of Zelda set. Specifically, I would hope that it's based off of Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild. Obviously, there's lots of other games they could pull from. Those are just my favorites. Obviously, we talked about the Great Deku Tree set is one of my favorites there of 2024. I'm looking at it right now, and it's gorgeous. I would love like a buildable Guardian from Breath of the Wild would be cool. I would love if they did. I literally just thought about this for the first time. Wow, if they did buildable sets for each of the divine beasts, and we got minifigures for each of their champions. I know that I'm speaking another language to you right now.
Yeah. Somebody was in the store the other day talking about it and asking about the Deku Tree, and they were going off about what they hope the next one is.
Yeah.
And I was sure.
Yeah, I mean the champions. If we could get minifigures of each of those 4 champions and some extra builds like that, that'd be so awesome. So, I think that'd be a hope for me. It feels like they're not going to do another one this year. I don't know. Like maybe they do an 18 plus Mario set every year, but I don't know if it's realistic to expect them to do an 18 plus Zelda set every year.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting, but I like that they continue to explore new areas in that Nintendo relationship. I think it's officially announced that they're doing a buildable Game Boy
so cool.
later in the year, which I believe I mentioned on a prior episode that's what I wanted.
They heard,
so
they listened.
I'm glad someone. See,
You did it, Chris.
Out in Denmark, you're listening to us here. Welcome to the Brick Clubhouse, everyone. No, and so I hope they continue exploring those different things because I know people love them, even if they're not up my alley. My next pick is another one of these open-ended ones. But the last few years, I feel like at the end of the year, Lego's kind of surprised us with like a big icon set. We had the Orient Express train a few years ago. Last year, we got the Endurance. And there are these...
And the Botanical Garden. Oh, that was
an idea set.
That was an idea set. That's right. Never mind.
Which ideas are a whole another thing. But we already kind of know, like, the idea sets have been approved.
Yeah, we know which ones are coming.
But I feel like we've gotten some of these surprises sets that I've just really enjoyed. They've been some of my favorite sets that we've gotten each year. And so I'm hoping we get another great end of the year icon surprise again.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is one that we're both going to agree on, but I really want a D2C Sleeping Beauty castle.
Oh, yes.
I think we've covered it briefly on the podcast before, and I'm not going to let myself get into it because I get pretty upset. But we both agree that the Disney 100 Disney castle should have been the one from Disneyland.
It should have been.
Because it was the first
100%.
one. They were celebrating 100 years. It should have been anyways.
And I feel like those minifigures should have been with the Sleeping Beauty castle.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great set. It's beautiful, but we're both mad because we have the first one.
Yeah, no, totally.
And anyways, we're upset that as Disneyland fans, us here on the West Coast, we're upset that they haven't made that in large scale form yet. They finally made the small one, which I'm looking at right now.
We did get a small one.
Finally got the small one.
So,
but
what figures would you want in it?
Yeah. Well, obviously, if they ever did the Disneyland Paris one, that would come with Beast and Belle.
Yeah, because that's the theme.
Like, I think that's going to be the set where we finally get a minifigure of Beast.
Yeah.
If that comes out, which, yeah. I mean, I want Sleeping Beauty in her blue dress.
Okay.
Because we've gotten her twice, but in the pink dress both times.
Mm-hmm.
Did Prince Philip come in the...
Didn't he come in the new one?
He came in it, didn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, he probably did.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like so many of those figures would have been good.
I still want her in her blue dress though. Like that's kind of the whole point. Is like she has both. As for other princesses, I mean that's actually a really good question. I haven't actually thought about it too.
No, I sprung it on you. I fear they would go back to the classic new versions of Mickey, Minnie.
No, I didn't think so. Yeah, no, Sleeping Beauty wasn't in the last one.
Oh, okay.
It was Snow White and Florian, Cinderella and Charming.
Oh, I must have been thinking of Cinderella.
Yeah. So Belle and her Sleeping Beauty in her blue dress and Prince Philip would be the main two that I would want. And then outside of that, like I think we've kind of gotten all the other princesses. Oh, Merida. No, we need Merida.
She'd be great, but I don't.
She doesn't have a prince to go with her, but we need she's one of the only other Disney princesses we haven't gotten in minifigure form.
There are mini dolls.
Who cares? Literally, who cares?
Earlier conversation.
Yeah. So I mean, those would be the main three, just off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see them revisiting Minnie and Mickey and
maybe an updated Tinkerbell figure.
Yeah, I could see them doing those classic figures again. I agree. I would love this set.
Or even, dude,
I would probably get it on day one.
Oh yeah, and if they would have done it for Disney 100, they could have also done like Fab 5, like in their Disney 100, like sparkly, like platinum suits. Like, can you imagine how cool those figures would have been?
Yeah.
Ugh.
No.
Anyways.
Lost opportunity.
Anyways, that's kind of a shared one for you and I.
I fully...
Do I think it's happening this year? No. But am I putting it on here? Yes, because it's going to be 100 every year until it happens.
I mean, I guess I'm just glad we finally, this past year, got a mini version of it.
I know. Me too.
Because it's my castle. That's when I think of the Disney castle, that's what I think about.
Yeah.
All right. Again, I didn't get real specific with things, but I want a continued revisiting of some of the classic themes. It feels like...
Castles next, please.
Yeah. No, seriously, because it feels like we've had a few things sprinkled in for the 90th anniversary of Lego. We got the Galaxy Explorer. They did the Lion Knight's Castle. And they did such a great job with those. And I feel like we kind of got... We had a pirate set that was one of the exclusive, Target sets. We got a Viking set last year, and I just want them to continue revisiting those older themes. We did get a Blacktron set, already this year.
That's a good one.
Which was a great one. And so, like, I don't have specifics. I just want them to keep playing in this arena. Continue making awesome knights and
with printed shields.
And some of the other themes. I mean, I feel like we're getting some in the BrickLink Designer Program.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting a really cool, like, forest hideout and some of these other things, but they're just not the same as a full-blown Lego
and they're not going to produce any new minifigures for those.
No,
like,
they're just reusing
pieces. So yeah.
So no, that's what I hope in 25 they continue doing.
Yeah. Is that the end of your list?
I think it is.
Okay.
There are a few that that you still have that I have opinions on. So
I have two more.
Yeah, just keep going.
Okay. So I got a continuation of the fauna series, the fauna collection. So we had like the birds, like the parrots last year. Those were awesome.
Yep.
And that was kind of it. Like it was called like the fauna collection. And there's been some really cool animal builds in the 3-in-1 series. But I wanted to see more. Oh, we got the Kingfisher too. I think that was part of it as well.
Yeah.
I want to see more 18+ sets of different animal builds. I mean, I'm a huge animal fan.
I love the Kingfisher.
I would love to get like a brick built like moose or like bear or like
I mean,
some sort of
just
like really cool animals.
And I guess even this could be another wish of mine is just that continued 3-in-1. Just they've been so good. Like the panda set that just came out is great. And I want more of our little forest friends because I mean it was one of my top 5 sets last year. The Red Fox.
It was so good.
I love that set. It looks awesome.
There it is.
Yeah, I have it built in my cabinet too, and it looks so good. Yeah. So the thing with the 3-in-1s is they're tiny.
Right, like I want some bigger ones.
Like that fox build is great, but
I feel like that's a good size.
I don't know. It is, but
I mean the Kingfisher is not much bigger. It's just a different type of build.
But the bird itself is bigger.
Bird.
I mean, it's not like we're going to get like I don't need an
UCS.
18-inch tall grizzly bear.
But also like it's cool because the two sets that are technically part of the fauna collection in the parrots and the Kingfisher are two very different types of sets. Like the parrots are like
hang on the wall,
right?
Almost like
and I love
art.
that. I love how like unique they each were. So like they don't have to necessarily be like a 3-in-1, just bigger. Yeah, let your creativity run wild, Lego.
Yeah, I actually when I first saw the fauna, I thought you were talking about botanicals, which I think we'll continue to see.
That's flora.
I know. I'm just saying. But I do enjoy the botanical
botanicals
line.
Are not going anywhere.
Yeah.
They're so popular.
I don't know that we have to put that on our wish list.
Yeah. Okay, well, I have my one last thing, and I'm saving this one for last because this is the one that's like super out there, and I know it's not going to happen.
Explain.
Yeah, so I put Ed Sheeran collaboration. So for those of you who don't know, I'm a huge Ed Sheeran fan. The reason why it's on my 2025 wish list specifically is so like last year the Pharrell movie came out,
right?
And they did like a Pharrell set, and that's when I was like, oh, like this is possible that they just do a collaboration rather than it being like a Lego Ideas set because I have seen Lego Ideas Ed Sheeran sets.
Yeah, there've been a lot of them,
and as we know, there's been a ton of like Taylor Swift Eras Tour ones,
right?
But when I saw like they just did a straight up collaboration with Pharrell, I was like, oh, so. For those of you who don't know, Ed Sheeran is a huge Lego fan. Like, he has an interview with Graham Norton where he's like, the first time I got a paycheck for my first album, I went to the Lego store and bought myself the UCS Death Star. Like, that was the first big thing he got.
Just go to YouTube and
it's
search
hilarious.
Ed Sheeran Lego.
It's amazing. I mean, he has a song called Lego House, too.
Yeah, but you can go find the video of him,
so
like,
good.
working in the Lego store in Minneapolis.
Yeah, he went to the Mall of America during his tour. And then he also tells a story about when he went on a date with someone and brought a Lego set to their apartment and built it and then left. And that was his date. So anyways, he loves Lego. Lego loves him. Everyone loves Ed Sheeran. So, but the reason why it's on the 2025 list is because this is the year that he's finishing his mathematics tour, which has been like this whole era of his career so far. And so he's on the mathematics tour. And I just thought it'd be cool, like kind of his version of like the Eras tour, like Lego Ideas fan submissions that I've seen. I would love it if he collaborated with Lego and then made a set of his stage, which is like it's like a circular stage. It's a really cool stage setup actually. If you're curious to see what it looks like, it's really really cool actually. because he's on like this giant lazy Susan, and so he'll stay stationary while he's playing a song, and it'll rotate so like everybody in the stadium can like see.
Yeah,
him.
because it's a stadium concert, right?
Yeah, so it's like in the middle of the stadium
Yeah.
rather than like Taylor's. It's like on the end.
Yeah.
In one of the end zones type of thing coming out. And then a minifigure of him from each of his eras, each of his Mathematics tour albums. So, yeah, the different, the plus Ed Sheeran, Little Baby Ed, and all the different ones. So that's one. That's why I saved it for last, is because it's not going to happen. It's
Probably not.
No, it's not. I do think that there's a chance that Ed Sheeran does a collaboration with Lego at some point. Maybe.
Who knows?
If it's not just a Lego Ideas set,
Yeah.
But that's kind of a pipe dream that I had one morning while I was getting ready for work a few weeks ago, and I was like, "Oh, that'd be so cool!" And I was just nerding out.
It would be fun.
It's also he is very popular here, but he's more popular like globally than he is here, like for sure.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
and I feel like this Mathematics tour's been going on
huge
for years.
Huge. So, anyways, that was my little.
I mean, if people do want an Ed Sheeran minifigure, we have them in the store.
Yeah.
So,
I know.
and Taylor Swift ones.
I know. I want real ones.
Yeah. Well, these are real. I mean, they exist.
They're just custom.
But no, that would be fun. And I see, and that's kind of the out there.
This was the bigger
thinking.
daydream. Oh, for sure. And that's why I prefaced it by saying that. The other ones were pretty grounded, and I feel like all very likely to happen. And this one was one that I just threw in for myself and the fellow Ed Sheeran fans out there.
Yeah, no, that's great. So I wonder what is on everyone else's 25 wish list, or if you agree or disagree with our list, let us know. Find us on the socials and tell us how right or wrong we were, because that's how the socials work.
We're not wrong. These are our wish lists.
Yeah, like we said, it's not the best. These are just our ideas.
Yeah. So that's kind of our wish list conversation.
Yeah.
We have a couple more topics to wrap up with. The first of which is, for those of you that are interested, on February 4th, BrickLink Designer Program Series 4 sets are available to purchase starting at 8 a.m. Pacific time. We've talked about these in the past. Chris and I will be hopping on, buying some sets for the store. For those of you that are interested on getting them for yourself, we're not going to go in depth over the sets in this wave in this episode. We'll probably break them down closer to when we get them in the store.
Yeah, we'll hit them later. But there are 5 of them, as always. And there's the Merchant Boat. There's the Wild West Train.
That's a good one.
The Medieval Seaside Market.
That one's fun, too.
The Siege Encampment. And the Riverside Scholars.
That one's cool, too.
Just briefly, did you realize the Riverside Scholars
Same designer.
are connected to a bunch of the other? Yeah.
Yeah, like the guy that built that one has built like 2 or 3 of the other.
Yeah, the
BrickLink
Ocean
ones.
House and the windmill from one of the going way back. We actually have it in the store right now.
We do, yeah.
And the Ocean House.
The Ocean House.
So we have all 3.
The Ocean House is one of my favorite ones.
It's great. But anyway, that they're all part of this universe of Riverside Scholar. But castle stuff's well represented in this.
Always.
With the Seaside Market. The Siege Encampment, maybe my favorite one of the lot.
That's the one I care the least for.
I mean, I have to be honest. I'm not near as excited about this wave as some other waves. But I could just see a bunch of those siege pieces in and around the Lion Knight's castle.
Yeah, I guess for me it's because there's a lack of continuity. It's just a bunch of pieces.
It's
a bunch of mini builds together.
It's almost like a battle pack with a bunch of side builds.
Although I will say, this is the first time I'm going through the pictures and actually looking at them closely. And they have pictures of it with the Lion Knight's castle and the Mountain Fortress. It's actually pretty cool.
And
I'm not gonna lie.
And it comes with a ton of minifigures.
Well, that's kind of what I'm seeing now. And actually, this is pretty sick. I stand by the fact that the reason why it didn't jump out to me at first is because it's just a bunch of small little builds together.
100%.
And I like more content, more like a big build.
100%.
But for those of you, if you're a castle collector, these would all go really, really well with other castle sets and stuff.
And of course, I love trains, so the fact that we're getting a Wild West train. But it feels like we just had a Wild West train with the raised bridge. So
yeah, it was similar for sure.
But anyway, we'll put a link. You can go see them. They go on sale on February 4th, which will probably be a day or so after this gets posted. So you can jump on and grab them for yourself. I also wanted to just touch on a little bit of some of the stuff we have going on in the store. We have some special Valentine's Day products and stuff coming up. We've got a exclusive Valentine's minifig torso that says "Be My Valentine" on it that you can come and maybe build yourself and give it to that certain someone in your life. We also have a bunch of the botanicals in stock if you want to give a bouquet, or we'll also be selling just some individual flowers if that's something you may not want a whole bouquet for someone, but 1 or 2 roses might just do the trick. So we've got stuff for you to help make Valentine's Day special and build with your Valentine or your kids or whoever you want to spend time with that weekend. So just wanted to shout out that and let people start thinking about Valentine's Day because it'll be here before we know it. I think that brings us to the end of our topics tonight.
I think so.
So just want to remind people to, if you want to help the show, help spread the word, go to your podcast directory of choice and give us a like, thumbs up, 5 stars, whatever where you get your podcast does, and that really helps people find us. And again, thanks to Bricks and Minifigs San Diego North. Swing by the store if you're in the area in San Diego, and you can find us on Google Maps, and we'd love to see you and say hi. And I think that brings us to a close. So say goodnight, Evan.
Goodbye, Chris.